Leaked footage just dropped of Justin Baldoni that proves that Blake Lively was right about him.
The legal war has begun between actress Blake Lively and her co-star Justin Baldoni.
Blake Lively is suing the film's director and her co-star, Justin Baldoni.
We take it very, very seriously.
If I was his PR management team, I'd be scrambling for new talking points because this is looking beyond bad for him.
Mr. Baldoni's legal team told the BBC the allegations are categorically false.
Justin Baldoni's past confessions about his struggles with adult media are suddenly back in the spotlight, and not in a good way. Thanks to Blake Lively's recent accusations, his words from a 2021 interview on Sarah Grinberg's A Life of Greatness podcast have resurfaced, but this time they're fueling a much darker narrative. Back then, Justin had opened up about a personal and deeply vulnerable topic, his introduction to adult media at just 10 years old.
For the 10-year-old who found for the first time before he was ready.
It was a revelation that had people talking for all the right reasons until now. See, Justin had described how stumbling upon adult content at such a young age left a lasting impact, creating what he later recognized as patterns in his life. It was long before I even understood what I was feeling, he said in the interview, reflecting on how something so taboo became so intriguing. When something is off limits, it naturally becomes appealing. That's just human nature, he explained, candidly addressing how the secrecy surrounding it heightened its allure. Over time, he admitted this fascination evolved into a coping mechanism, his way of dealing with feelings of loneliness. I trained my brain to deal with tough emotions by chasing that rush, Justin confessed, openly acknowledging the way it shaped him over the years.
By admitting that you are sad or needing help is to then admit that you are not a man.
At the time, these admissions were seen as introspective and honest. People applauded him for his willingness to talk openly about something so personal, especially in an industry where carefully curated images often win out over real vulnerability. But fast forward to today, and those same reflections are being seen in a completely different light. Blake's lawsuit against Justin isn't just about on-set disagreements, it's about boundary-crossing behavior that, according to her, went far beyond anything remotely professional. Suddenly, the past Justin laid bare isn't helping his case. It's only adding more weight to Blake's allegations. According to Blake's legal complaint, Justin's actions on the set of It Ends With Us created a work environment so uncomfortable, it triggered an emergency HR meeting. And this wasn't just an internal HR issue. Blake's husband, Ryan Reynolds, reportedly had to get involved to make sure her concerns weren't ignored. The documents Blake filed outline multiple instances where Justin was allegedly warned to stop making personal comments about her appearance or family. He was also told to steer clear of bringing up his adult media history around her, boundaries that Blake says he didn't respect. Blake's claims go even further, accusing Justin of trying to push unapproved script changes that would have taken the film in an entirely different direction. She described the proposed changes as excessive, saying they went far beyond what the original tone of the story was going for. Things got so bad, Blake reportedly demanded stricter protocols on set, including hiring an intimacy coordinator to ensure boundaries were respected. But even with those measures in place, she alleges that Justin continued to test limits, creating what she described as an increasingly unstable atmosphere. And as if the alleged on-set behavior wasn't enough, Blake's lawsuit also pulls back the curtain on what she claims was a deliberate effort to damage her reputation. She accuses Justin and his PR team of planting stories in the media to paint her as difficult to work with. The legal filing even includes text messages between two PR executives that sound more like something out of a reality show than professional correspondence. In one alleged exchange, PR executive Melissa Nathan reportedly joked about sending Blake as a present in a box, to which publicist Jennifer Abel casually replied, "Dang it." Blake's team points to this as proof of the hostility she faced, arguing that it reflected the broader effort to undermine her, and the damage didn't stop behind closed doors. Blake's lawsuit claims that Justin's team also targeted her during the It Ends With Us promotional campaign. Interviews that sparked criticism of Blake as being tone-deaf or disconnected from the movie's themes, well, according to her legal team, they weren't entirely organic. The lawsuit includes text messages suggesting that Justin's team discussed ways to amplify negative reactions to Blake's media appearances, effectively shifting public perception in his favor. One alleged message even had Justin asking, "What is the TikTok strategy?" A question Blake's team says highlights how calculated the efforts were to reframe the narrative around the film and its stars. On top of all of this, Blake's lawsuit details what she describes as unsettling behavior from Justin behind the scenes. She accuses him of repeatedly entering her trailer without being invited, often during private moments. She also claims he lingered uncomfortably during close contact scenes despite the HR interventions and the presence of the intimacy coordinator she had specifically requested. At one point, Blake says Justin crossed yet another line by showing her a personal video, something she felt was completely out of line in a professional setting. These incidents, Blake alleges, were part of a larger pattern of behavior that made her working conditions intolerable. While Justin's admissions once painted him as someone trying to come to terms with his past, they now risk being seen as foreshadowing, a glimpse into behavior that, if Blake's allegations are true, spilled over into his professional life in different ways. The lawsuit has already sparked heated discussions in Hollywood, with many wondering how much of this will lead to real accountability and how much will simply be swept under the rug. But the fallout of these accusations isn't just limited to Blake and Justin. It's sending ripples throughout Hollywood. WME, the powerhouse talent agency that represented both actors, wasted no time making their stance clear. Justin dropped. Blake still firmly on their roster. That divide has become a talking point of its own, signaling where industry loyalties might lie as this legal drama heats up. For Justin, losing WME is more than just a slap on the wrist. It's a massive professional blow, especially for someone who's been trying to carve out a space for himself as both an actor and a director. And of course, Justin isn't staying silent. His lawyer, Brian Friedman, has come out swinging with a fiery statement that accuses Blake of using her lawsuit to save face. Friedman didn't mince words, calling her claims categorically false, outrageous, and intentionally salacious. He went on to suggest that Blake's lawsuit is less about justice and more about a PR strategy to repair her image, claiming that her behavior on set contributed to tensions during the production. But it doesn't stop there. Friedman's counterattack also takes aim at Blake's alleged behind-the-scenes moves. He claims that Blake has her own PR team working overtime to plant damaging stories about Justin and Wayfarer Studios, which is the production company behind It Ends With Us. According to Friedman, the so-called evidence Blake has included in her legal filings, such as those damning text messages, has been carefully cherry-picked and completely taken out of context. His argument was that what she was framing as a smear campaign is really just standard PR strategy, the kind of stuff that happens all the time in Hollywood. But it seems really weird to say it's just standard PR strategy when one of your managers is telling a publicist that they might ship Blake Lively in a box as a present. I mean, that's just strange. Meanwhile, Blake is holding her ground and then some. She's made it clear that this legal action isn't just about her, it's about something much bigger. In a public statement released alongside her lawsuit, Blake framed herself as a whistleblower for change in an industry that, let's face it, has a long history of sweeping these kinds of accusations under the rug. This isn't just about me, it's about protecting others who may feel powerless to defend themselves, Blake said, positioning her case as a rallying cry for accountability. Her lawsuit doesn't just focus on Justin's alleged actions, it also shines a light on how Hollywood handles, or fails to handle, conflicts like these. By stepping forward, Blake has forced uncomfortable conversations about the power dynamics, reputation politics, and workplace dynamics that so often go unchecked in the entertainment world. Her choice to go public with these allegations has drawn a lot of attention, with some calling it a brave stand against unstable practices and others questioning the motives on both sides. What's clear though is that Blake isn't backing down. She's using her platform to call out to not just Justin, but also the broader culture that allows boundary-pushing behavior to persist unchecked in one of the world's most glamorous industries. What do you guys think? Should Justin just take the L here and admit defeat? It's not looking great for him right now. Let me know in the comments, and I hope you have a great day. Peace out.